The strike is over. I am back. I told you that I would not return until I was able to put in eye contacts. Symbolically, it was such a big deal. Of the things I've overcome in my life, it bothered me that I was not a person who could put in eye contacts despite people 20 years younger than me watching my videos. They easily can. That bothered me. I thought if I can overcome all these things I have in my life, yet I can't overcome putting in contacts, who am I to tell you that you can overcome your hair loss psychologically, internally? That bothered me so much. And then essentially in a week's time, I only shot 2 videos. The most recent one being the one where I talked about this, and then the second one being this one right now. I didn't shoot any videos. I spent 90 minutes a day or more each day just trying to put in my contacts. Eventually it got to the point where I finally kind of accidentally got one in, and it hurt so bad I had to watch YouTube videos on how to get it out. Then Saturday morning I go back to the eye doctor to find out how the new contacts are working. And this is what it was like. The lady, I explained to her what was going on. I explained how difficult it was. So she takes me back to the room, puts me in the chair. I mean, it was like I was being abducted by aliens and just tortured, or I was somewhere, in a different part of the world, in the military, but then they caught me and now they're torturing me. She was able to get them in my eye, but the whole time I was like, and I'm a grown man. So, and I acknowledged the irony of that, and she said, basically, I'm not the only one. A lot of men have this issue because it's unnatural to be touching your eye and putting something in your eye. And I gotta say, I left there, and it was funny, speaking of symbolism, after I told her that, I said, you know what? Oh, so we put that contacts in. I walked kind of out to the room where my wife was. I said, I can barely open my eyes with these things in. And I said, these just aren't for me. I'm okay with, for the rest of my life, wearing glasses. It's really not that big of a deal. And not to mention, I've talked to people at work about it, many of whom wear glasses but can wear contacts. And I proposed the idea. I said, it's as if wearing glasses is less trouble than wearing contacts. That ultimately, wearing contacts is higher maintenance. And I think it was so important that I took that week off from really shooting any videos to get to the point where I can accept that wearing glasses really never bothered me to begin with. Fundamentally, I was okay with it. It didn't bother me. And a lot of people, it's funny because even the lady, the optometrist, she said, you're a glasses kind of guy. And honestly, some people don't look that great in glasses. You do. You look like a glasses guy. My wife was over there. She says, yeah, I like your glasses. And funny thing is, I turned to myself, and I like my glasses. I never didn't like them. I mean, there's some minor inconveniences. For example, it's kind of hard to wear sunglasses with them, but my eyesight's not so bad that when I'm in a situation where I want to wear sunglasses, I just wear sunglasses. That's another part of it, is that in this eye I have astigmatism. And this eye is nearly 20/20. So my eyesight, I have to have them to be in front of a computer, any kind of a screen, or to drive legally, but to shoot videos and to carry on with conversations in most situations, I don't have glasses and it's fine. So I realized ultimately it didn't matter so much more that I wasn't able to wear contacts, because once they finally got in, they were so uncomfortable. I couldn't stand it. It was just, I was like this. And I didn't want to get used to that, because fundamentally, I really didn't care. I just wanted to be able to overcome that struggle. But then I realized I already had. The struggle was that I had put myself through all that, ultimately to realize, but I like my glasses. I'm fine with my glasses. Now granted, this doesn't mean I'm gonna start wearing them for my videos. Why? Because of the glare. And actually the glare you see is from this camera, it's from the selfie screen. But the selfie screen is important to my videos because I can kind of gauge how I'm looking to you. So while most people during the day see me this way, for my videos I typically don't wear them, mainly because of that reason, because of the glare. And also, I don't know, I think as a YouTuber it's kind of important, there's more expression that I can convey by not wearing my glasses. But I'm not ashamed of them, and they don't bother me. So I'm now at peace with myself. Also, something else I learned, it was a sabbatical. The other thing I learned about all this, as I talk to other people about contacts and other men who don't need to wear glasses, their eyes are not that bad, but like my dad, for example. I mean, my dad's what, 61, 62? Isn't that funny that my parents are in their early 60s and yet they don't wear contacts or glasses? Their eyes aren't that bad. That's amazing. But yet my sister and I do. But I was talking to people like my dad and talking to other men about it, and I just said, I just can't get past this because my eye wants to blink anytime I touch my eye. And people like my dad and other people, he said, yeah, if I had to, if my eyes were that bad, I wouldn't want to touch my eye either. And as I've heard other men say this week, it helped me realize something about myself, that I was associating glasses as being less masculine, even though I don't believe that. And we all know that glasses actually make you look and seem smarter. But I think for me, somehow, not being able to wear contacts, I was associating that with a lack of masculinity. And this week, taking a break from shooting videos has helped me realize how silly and absurd that concept is. But I think those of you who get what this channel is about, that this is not a hair loss channel, it just, people think that it is. For me, I don't care about hair. I care about embracing masculinity and trying to understand masculinity, because there's no firm definition of really what that actually is. But as masculinity is important to me, I think I realize, and I've always known, that I am not a high maintenance guy. I married a beautiful woman who is explicitly not high maintenance. And that was one of the many things I found attractive about my wife. She's low maintenance. I'm low maintenance. I'm all about being low maintenance. And for me, not only is doing this very low maintenance to me, as opposed to having to deal with contacts, but the more high maintenance something is, and impractical it is for what you're getting out of it, that seems, I don't know, it seems less masculine to me to have to put so much effort into something like that. So for me, the more masculine choice is just to wear some cool glasses and that solves the problem. I'm not a high maintenance guy. And I think for those of you who truly understand where I'm coming from, it was I make all these videos, because somebody said, well, why don't you just get LASIK surgery? Well, it goes back to that concept that that's too much effort and too much maintenance, too much of a big deal for something that I don't really need to survive. And that's reflected in the concept of why I personally have zero interest in getting a hair transplant. It's high maintenance. I'm not worth that. I'm not worth the drugs of Propecia and all that. I'm not worth it. I'm a low maintenance guy and I don't care about that stuff. So it makes sense now that a guy who personally is against ever getting a hair transplant or Propecia or any of those drugs, it only makes sense that same guy, not only would he not have a LASIK surgery, but he definitely wouldn't even go through the trouble of getting contacts. And to me, that's masculine. It's masculine to be confident in who you are, but you can't be confident until you know who you are. So this week of sabbatical has reminded me who I am. I am someone who has a high value of masculinity for myself, and who also is very much into low maintenance. And for me, masculinity and low maintenance are very much the same. And granted, I'm very much a planner and understander and all these things, but ultimately, I don't want to put a lot of time, energy, and effort into things that aren't going to really yield anything, especially if it's not going to make me more money. I hope you all know that everything I do ultimately goes back to, well, how do I make money off of this thing? If you really know me, you know that about me. Contacts aren't going to help anything. I can just as well shoot videos without my glasses, and it's no big deal. And if I really wanted to put them on to show you, there you go. That's how most people see me throughout the day at work, and often how I look at the house too when I'm in front of the computer watching TV. I look good in my glasses. I'm confident in that. I don't need contacts, and I'm no less masculine for being one of those men who is not okay with that. I'm too in control of my own body to be okay with that. And that is okay. I'm at peace. So you know what? I'm back. If I feel like it, because I'm Nick Schill and I do whatever I want, if I feel like it, I'm now going to make 2 or 3 videos a day on this channel, and you are going to watch them because I am back.